Hello Internet, and welcome back to my 30-day video game music challenge. Hard mode, no repeat games. We're up to day 26. We are almost done with this rather epic recording session. I don't know how many hours worth of content I've recorded today, but it's several. And it's been rough going, actually, at times. I've still got all the joy of editing it together, which is going to be great fun. Day 26. Music I like from a game I haven't played. I've got two tracks. No, I've got two games for this. And arguably I failed the challenge for the song that I'm actually choosing, and I'll tell you why in a bit. The runner-up for this, however, was Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on the Nintendo GameCube. Now, I own a copy of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. I have never played it. I've even got the GameCube now, but I don't have anything that I can connect it to without buying extra cables and stuff. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, it has got a really, really good soundtrack. I've listened to the soundtrack several times. I haven't been and looked up a particular piece of music for this video, but the music I like from a game that I haven't played thing is going to change soon, because Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is getting remastered, and it's actually out, I think, is it the end of July? Something like that. I think it's on PlayStation 5 for some reason, or Switch. I don't think it's on PC for some reason, which is a bit of a shame. I might wait off and see whether they just haven't announced a PC port yet, because it'll be a real shame if it's not on PC. But yeah, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles has some really good and really quite different, in many respects, pieces of music from the main numbered Final Fantasy games. It is still very much Final Fantasy music, but it's got a very different kind of style to it from what you might expect. I recommend it. I recommend checking it out. I've no idea if the game is any good, but I know it must have done fairly well if they've remastered it. Now, the piece of music that I have chosen is this one. And this almost made it onto my list for day 12. Because it is somber, melancholy, downbeat, almost defeated, but really upbeat and triumphant towards the end. That was Second Chances, track 17 from the StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void soundtrack. And I've said multiple times throughout this series of videos that one of the things that I look for in a piece of video game music, and why I like video game music so much, is the emotional resonances that I can attach to it. Now, I have not played StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. But I did play Wings of Liberty, and I did play Heart of the Swarm. So I kind of feel like I am cheating for this, because I do have that emotional connection to Kerrigan, to Reyna from StarCraft 2. I've got that emotional connection, which I feel is so important. And I have watched the quote-unquote movie version of Legacy of the Void. I've watched all the cutscenes. And obviously this cutscene is right at the end of the game. This is... It's Reyna's swan song, if you like. His and Kerrigan, after all the shit that they go through. And say what you like about the StarCraft 2 story and how it ruined StarCraft. I know that's a big criticism of StarCraft 2. What they did with Kerrigan, the Mary Sue issue, and so on and so forth. I've heard all the critique. And to be fair, a good chunk of it is justified. But that cutscene, keeping in mind, I have not played the Legacy of the Void. I actually went back and watched all the other cutscenes of Legacy of the Void because of the Second Chances cutscene. It was just one of the ones that I happened to see first. And it really got me. It's really emotional. And I was surprised and shocked, because obviously I didn't know what they were going to do with Kerrigan. There's all the Zelnaga stuff, and it was just something about... keep in mind, I don't have the cutscene here in front of me. So keep in mind that I can remember what happens in that cutscene. I can remember the pan to the photographs on the wall of all the comrades that he's lost. I can remember seeing Reyna with his... I think it's a whiskey glass, isn't it, that he's drinking. I can remember the upswelling of the music and the light shining in from behind him as he doesn't turn around, and then he hears the voice of somebody that he never expected to see ever again. And she asks him, are you ready to go, cowboy? And he leaves his badge there. That thing that's made him who he is, the lawman, the kind of moral compass. He just leaves it there on the bar, and he walks off into a nebulous white light. And for all of their faults with storytelling, all of the faults that Blizzard is often accused of, it is still capable, in my opinion, of beautiful moments. And, you could say what you want about Battle for Azeroth and the Warlords of Draenor, the kind of, arguably what some people would call duff expansions. I still think there's some brilliant storytelling to be found in Blizzard games, and there's some brilliant music to back up that storytelling, and this is 100% one of those pieces for me. As I said, it's only 1 minute and 39 seconds long, but it could have gone on day 12. It's definitely makes it onto the day 26. It's just a really nice piece, a really beautiful piece, a really emotive piece of music. Would it have as much effect if I hadn't seen the cutscene that goes with it and have those emotional connections with the characters? I don't know. Because I can't actually remember whether I heard the music before I watched the cutscene, which is why I feel like I'm cheating with this one. Sound off in the comments. What music do you guys like from games that you haven't played? There's hundreds of games that I could put on this list. I've got video game soundtracks from a lot of games, many of which I just haven't played, either because I don't like the game. You know, I don't like the style of game, or just because I feel like I wouldn't like it. But I know the music's good, or it's from a composer that I really like. You know, Dust Force has got a really great soundtrack, for example. I've never played that, but I know it's got a cracking soundtrack. Music you like from a game you haven't played. And yeah, if you want to sound off about how bad the writing for certain characters in Battle for Azeroth has been, by all means, you can sound off in the comments down below about that as well. But I will stand up and say Drustvar has some of the best zone questing experience in any MMO I have ever played. I mean, it's not Shadowbringers, but it's still bloody good, in my opinion. Anyway, that's a different argument entirely. Day 26, done. We're on to the last 4, folks. Next time, day 27, music from a handheld game. This one was a bit of a tricky one, realistically, because all of the handhelds that I've got, I owned before my memory loss. So, yeah, my memory of the music from those games is a little bit on the tricky side. But I'll let you know what we come up with in tomorrow's video. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe out there. Catch you all next time. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.